Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make a delicious choco flan. So this is all you're going to need to do your choco flan. So we're going to start by having everything that you need. That's the instruction on the box how to make a chocolate cake. So we're going to use half of a cup of water, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, and then we're going to use 3 eggs. And then we're going to use the cooking spray to put on the pan. And that's for our chocolate cake. Then we're going to need, these are the ingredients we're going to need to make our flan. So we're going to use half of a teaspoon of cinnamon, half of a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to use 3 eggs, and we're going to use 1 full can evaporated milk and a full can of condensed milk, which this is the sweet condensed milk, the whole can. And this is all this we're going to put in the blender to make our flan. For our choco flan. And we're gonna use 1/2 of a pack of Philadelphia cream cheese for our flan. So that's gonna go, all's gonna go in the blender. So we're gonna show you how to make a choco flan. So we're gonna get started. So we're gonna get all the ingredients for our flan, and we're gonna put it in the blender. So I'm trying to show you exactly what we're doing. So we're putting the 3 eggs in the blender. 3 eggs in the blender. And we're gonna add the vanilla. Now we're gonna add the cinnamon. And we're gonna add the whole can of evaporated milk. And half of the pack of Philadelphia cream cheese. So you just cut it right in half and you put that whole thing in there. And this is the mix we're gonna use for the flan. So the whole thing goes in there. And now the whole can of the sweet condensed milk. So the whole can goes in there. I'm gonna open the can so I can do it faster. And know this, you're gonna mix it in the blender for about a minute. Once you finish mixing it, you just let it sit there for a little bit while you mix everything for your cake. So we're gonna put this and mix it in the blender, and we're gonna start making our cake mix. So all this is gonna go here, and we're gonna mix it. Now we're gonna start making our cake. So for our cake, we're gonna use a chocolate, devil's food chocolate cake. I'm gonna put the whole cake pack in the mixer. And now we're gonna put our water in there. I'm gonna push it up. So it's a 1/2 cup of water. And we're gonna throw our 3 eggs in there. So it's 1 egg, 2 eggs, and 3 eggs. And then after our eggs, we're gonna put our 1/3 cup of oil. So it's vegetable oil that I'm using. And we're gonna start mixing. And once that's mixing, we're gonna mix our flan mix. now we mix our cake mix. It's nice and mixed well. So now we're gonna get ready to put our cake in the, we're gonna put our cake into our pot where we're gonna cook it. So we turn on the oven at 375 and we put it for 1 hour to cook at 375. So our cake mix is already done, and now our flan mix is done. So we have both of our flan mix is already blended with the blender, and our mix is already done. So we're ready to start making our cake, getting it together so we could cook it in the oven. So we have our cake mix. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray our pan with cooking spray. And now we're gonna spray it. So just spray it really well from the edges, especially in the middle because you don't want it to get stuck. So now we sprayed it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add caramel to our pan for the bottom. And that's gonna be the top of your flan. So it's the caramel. You just put a little bit because it's gonna melt once it starts cooking. So that's all you need. So see, I just put a little bit in the bottom of the pan after I sprayed it. And then we're gonna add our cake mix. Okay, so we're gonna add our cake mix to the pan. So we're putting it all in there. So once we put it all in there, you want to make sure you move it around a little bit so that it could even out. I think I still have a little bit more in the pot, so I'm going to take it out, put it in there. So after you do that, once you're done, put in the cake mix in there. So there it is. Your cake mix is on the bottom of the pot where you're gonna cook your cake. So we're gonna move it a little bit. And now that we center it, we're gonna add the flan mix on top. So yes, it goes on top. So you're just gonna add it. Make sure you go evenly and add the whole thing. So see? So we added all the flan mix. And now we're gonna cover it with a piece of foil paper. We're gonna cover it. So then I already preheated my oven to 375 and we're gonna cook it for 50 minutes. After 50 minutes, we're gonna come and check on it. The only thing that I forgot to tell you that you're gonna put a pot, a sheet. No, it's not a sheet. It's a pot, a tray on the bottom, a cooking tray in the oven with water. I put about 2.5 cups of water. So it's gonna cook with water on the bottom. So it's gonna be steamed with water. So or they call it a bed of water. So we cover our choco flan with foil paper. And after we cover it, it's ready to go into the oven. So we preheated our oven, so now it's gonna go in there. So, let me put it in the oven. So I'm gonna show you how it goes on the bed of water. So see, the oven's already preheated and it's on a bed of water. It's about, I think I put 2.5 cups of water in there. You could put more depending on what kind of pan you put on the bottom. So it's gonna cook with water on the bottom. So now I'm gonna put it in there. It should cover at least half of your pan. So I'm gonna add more water to it. I'm gonna add about another cup of water so it could lift, because it's not enough water in there. But it's supposed to cover your pan about at least half. So we're gonna add more water. So after we add the water, we're gonna come back and check on our choco flan after 50 minutes. Okay, so already our flan's been cooking in the oven for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Well, it's been 50 minutes, sorry. And now we're gonna check on it. So see, there's our flan, our choco flan, and now we're gonna put this in there. And if it comes out clear, it doesn't need more time. But you see how this is wet, so it needs more time. So we're gonna cover it and wait another 10 minutes and come and check on it again. So we just took out our choco flan out of the oven, and we're gonna check if it's already fully cooked. So to check it, you put a little stick in it, and if it comes out clear, that means it's fully cooked. So now we're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna take it off and put it in the serving tray. So we already waited 5 minutes, and now we're gonna take our choco flan. We're gonna take it out of the mold, and we're gonna put it in the serving tray. So make sure you have a serving tray that covers your mold with the cake. Now we're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna flip it over, and here we go. See what we got. And there you go. We have a delicious choco flan. And you could even decorate it. Like this one, we're gonna make it for a birthday party. So we're gonna put decorations on it. We'll come back once we're done with it. So we pour a little bit of caramel on top of the flan. So we just put caramel on top. Now we're gonna decorate it because it's gonna be like for a birthday party. So we're just gonna put a little bowl in it and put happy birthday. And you could use them for any kind of occasion. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a birthday party. So see, you could put any decoration you want on it. And before you know it, you're good with your dessert. And it's delicious. And see, before you know it, you're done. And this is a choco flan. It tastes delicious because once all the cake goes through the flan mix, it gives it such a flavor to your cake. It's gonna be moist and it's gonna be delicious. So see, this is my choco flan. ready to go. Thank you for joining me in my channel for my choco flan recipe.